Hello everybody, my name's Leon. Welcome to Ark on the Hill. Today we're going to cover some basics and do a little introductory video of what we're going to do here. So let's just get right into it. I've gotten the question of why am I doing this? And the answer to that is with the drastic upswing and severe weather that we're seeing with flooding in North Carolina and Georgia and Virginia and the wildfires going on out in LA, and it's not even the season for wildfires. So we're seeing this upswing in catastrophic weather. And here in New York, we get some big storms and we get a lot of snow. And so it's good to have information. And I want to share some of the information that I've accumulated over the years to help people hopefully not only survive, but to do so when possible with a little bit of comfort. What are we going to cover? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over some basics, but in future videos, I'm going to hit on some deeper stuff. And a lot of the stuff that we'll cover in this video, I'll do deeper dives in. So you're going to hear me say that a few times. Like water filtration, food storage options, including what to look for when you're trying to put food away for a long term, and power, some philosophies and teachings and things to keep in mind while we're getting around and ready to be ready for when things go bad, because you never know when that's going to happen. So what are the basics? Well, with water, it's recommended to store 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and sanitation. At minimum, you should have a week's worth at your house, just in case like you lose the ability to get water. A minimum intake for an adult is 64 fluid ounces a day. If you're not doing that now, you should be. Gotta hail hydrate. We'll leave it at that. Hail hydrate. More if you're exerting yourself or if you're sweating. So like in the winter months, or if you're doing like a lot of physical activity, say you have to walk miles in a day, you're going to want some more fluids. And if you're doing a lot of sweating, you're also going to want to think of electrolytes and things like that, because you're gonna sweat that out. You'll need it. Again, more in-depth video coming on that soon. Food, it's recommended by FEMA and the Red Cross and a couple of people to have a minimum of 3 days or 72 hours worth of food. And what that looks like is you're talking 2,000 calories a day per person. So having that 6,000 calories in that kit would be important. But I think that's a little short-sighted. In the average American home, you would expect to have a bunch of dried goods like canned foods and pastas and things like that already in your home to last you 3 days. If you're not, you're probably single and working far away from home. But having that long-term storage, for example, I had some friends with the flood down in North Carolina where they couldn't get out of their house for like a week. So if you only have that 3 days worth of food, not necessarily enough. So I try to say, if you start at 72 hours or 3 days, work your way up to 3 weeks and then 3 months. I'm sure a bunch of us are old enough to remember when our grandparents were doing canning and putting up stuff for the winter and long-term storage and stuff like that. So it's not a bad idea to start maybe getting back to that and having a little extra stores. Of course, I'll go over a lot more than that when we do the extended version of the food video. Power is important. And of course, we'd all love to be able to power our entire homes for days at a time, but that's really, really expensive. It's one of the places that I actually am struggling with. I have a couple portable packs that I can use to run, like if I need to run my furnace or my refrigerator or freezer, I can do that. Or if I need to get out of the house, I can take some power with me. But more reasonable is the idea of being able to charge our USB devices, like your phones, your tablets. I've gone through and purchased a lot of like flashlights and electric arc lighters and things like that that can be charged through that USB as well. And having like a small solar panel, like a little 25 watt foldable that you can pick up on Amazon for not a lot of money. That way you can keep your phones and stuff charged and keep in connection with emergency services, your family, things like that. Of course, another video in depth, yada, yada. Basic survival things you want to keep in mind. Water, shelter, and food are your priorities. I would always say that water and shelter are more a priority than food because exposure and dehydration will kill you a lot faster than an empty stomach. With that said, when you're thinking about water, you need to make sure it's potable water, which means you can drink it and it's not going to make you sick. Because being ill in the tummy during an emergency situation is not ideal and will be very bad for you. Things to keep in mind, just real quick, like don't panic. When things are going down and getting heavy, panicking will make you not think as clearly as you need to when you're surviving something going bad. When you need to make decisions quickly and with, mental clarity, panicking will stop you from doing that. So don't panic. When it comes to things like fires and whatnot, or floods, if you can get out, do it. Get out. Take what you need. Take some of the things you've put away that should be easily portable, especially in your vehicle or in a backpack, and beat feet. If you're not in a situation, there ain't a situation, if you understand my meaning. But if you can't, take a moment, take a breath, and take stock of what you have at your disposal when it comes to power, water, food. Make sure you know where everything is. Make sure that if it's dark, you can find your flashlight. Make sure that if you're hungry, you can find your food. Make sure you have a way of preparing that food. And all of these things and more will of course, go more in depth later on. But those are definitely things to keep in mind. So with that, I'm going to leave you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But until the next one, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and I hope you have an amazing day.